Here's how I styled my hair like Rumi from K-pop Demon Hunters. Now in the movie, Rumi is 100% wearing just a regular Dutch braid based on a few clues like the fact that the stitches are alternating instead of directly across from each other, and the fact that in the scene of Rumi as a kid, you can see Celine just braiding her hair normally. However, I do not have Rumi's massive amount of animated hair, so when I do a Dutch braid on my hair, and I have a lot of hair, it doesn't look quite as voluminous as hers does, not even close actually at all, but this is what a regular Dutch braid would look like, and this is a great everyday option for doing Rumi's hairstyle. You can see the braid stitches are alternating instead of right across from each other, so it definitely follows along the same lines as her hair in the movie. There's just not quite as much volume as I would like. So in order to achieve Rumi's hair, I did what is called a dragon braid or a pull-through braid. So to do this hairstyle, you start out by taking a small section of hair right at the front of your face here and tying it into a very small ponytail. I'm going in and tugging on the section a bit to make it nice and fluffy and full, just like Rumi's in the movie. And then I'm going to scoop hair kind of around and behind that ponytail to create a second ponytail. So I now have two small ponytails at the front of my face here. I'm going to take the front ponytail and I'm going to split it in half down the center like so. I'm going to take the back ponytail and I'm going to flip it up over in front, so I'm just going to pull it forward like that, and then I'm going to take the two halves of the front ponytail and bring it around behind the other ponytail. And then because this is supposed to be kind of a Dutch braid version, I'm going to grab some pieces of hair, add it into that ponytail, and then tie it all together with a small elastic like so. Now that that's secure, I'm just going to flip the other ponytail back, and then I'm going to find the stitches of the braid right here and just gently tug and kind of fluff and fan out those pieces to make it super voluminous, just like Rumi's. Then I have two new ponytails and I'm going to repeat the exact same steps. So the front ponytail, I'm going to split right down the center like so, making the pieces as even as I can get them. And then I'm going to flip the back ponytail up in front, bring the two halves back together around the other ponytail, add in a little bit of hair to those halves and ponytail that all together. So I again have two new ponytails, the front ponytail and the back ponytail. And then I'm just going to find the next stitch of the braid and tug on that to make it nice and fluffy. Then I'm just going to repeat those steps over and over. I'm going to make sure to pull out each stitch of the braid as I go. If I wait till the end, the braid will be too tight and I won't be able to make it as fluffy as I would like. Once I've added in all of the hair, I should have just two ponytails, hopefully even amounts of ponytails. And then you just repeat that, split the front ponytail, bring the back ponytail up, and then bring the two halves around. Exact same thing as what you were doing before, you're just not adding in hair now. And then just repeat that all the way down the hair length, again making sure to stop and fluff out each stitch as you go. A quick tip, once it's too long to reach in the back and you need to bring it over a shoulder to continue, alternate shoulders back and forth with each stitch of the braid. This will help the braid lay straight down the back. I found if I do it over one shoulder the entire time, the braid tends to curve to one side. And then once you reach the end, just ponytail the two ponytails together to finish it off. But you can see here how the stitches are directly across from each other instead of alternating like earlier with the Dutch braid. But I think this looks much closer to Rumi's hairstyle. I also wanted to do her golden version with the little gemstones and glittery bits and bobbles, so I added these little clips and gold hoops to the edges of the braid, and I absolutely love just that little bit of sparkle that it adds to the hairstyle. But that's it. That's how to do Rumi's hair from K-pop Demon Hunters. Stay tuned because I will be making tutorials for Mira and Zoey's hairstyles as well. Let me know if you guys have any questions at all, and as always, happy hairstyling. Here's how to do Mira's hair from K-pop Demon Hunters. Now Mira's hair is very simple to do, but the end results are so cute. I absolutely love it. To start out, you're going to pull out any face framing pieces that you have and then make a part from right in front of your ears all the way up to the top of your head like so. Just go ahead and separate that out, and then I'm taking all of the hair that's hanging down behind and just clipping it together to make sure it doesn't get caught up in the ponytails as I'm working with the front section. Now with the front section that I just made, I'm going to split it in half, and then I'm going to make a ponytail, and it's going to line up diagonally with my eye and right on top of my ear, like so. I'd recommend just using one of the regular cloth type hair ties for this. It'll give you a lot more volume than like an elastic would, but use whatever you have on hand. And you can see here the ponytail is lining up diagonally with my eye and right on top of my ear. I'm going to do that exact same thing with the same placement on the other side, and then release the hair that I clipped down in the back. And that is the base of the hairstyle. Now Mira has hair ties that match her hair exactly. I didn't have any that matched my hair, so in order to replicate the same look, what I'm doing is just taking a small amount of hair from the ponytail and I'm just wrapping it around the base of the hair tie over and over, and then just adding a small bobby pin in place to create this kind of hair wrapped look. And it actually ended up giving the ponytail more volume too. I thought it looked really cute this way. If you have hair ties that match your hair, I'd recommend using that. I thought it looked cute with the contrasting ties as well. And Mira does often wear other types of hair clips, hair ties, like these little bows or these spikes. So anything you have on hand will work. Just choose what you like best and have fun with it. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. Check back in soon for Zoey's hair tutorial. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and as always, happy hairstyling. Here's how to do Zoey's hairstyle from K-pop Demon Hunters. In the movie, Zoey wears these very cute low double braided buns. This hairstyle is super simple to do. Start out with a middle part right down the center of your head. You could also do a side part if you prefer that. Then go ahead and pull out any face framing pieces. If you have bangs, leave them out here, and then throw one side into a low ponytail. You'd like this ponytail to sit right about the same height as your ear, but also make sure there is a couple inch gap between the ponytail and your ear. That's going to leave room for the bun to form later. If your hair is a little bit too flat against your scalp for your liking, just go ahead and tug on the top a little bit to give it a bit more volume, and then do the exact same thing on the other side. Then with each ponytail, we're going to split into 3 strands and just do a regular 3-strand braid all the way down. Repeat on the other side, and this is what you should have so far: 2 low braided ponytails. Again, make sure there's some room between your ear and the ponytail. Lots of people tend to place the ponytail too close to the ear, and then there's no room for the hair to wrap into a bun. Next, start wrapping the braid into a bun. You do want to wrap it around itself, almost think like a cinnamon roll, where the ponytail is the center of the bun and you're wrapping the braid around to create a little cinnamon roll. And then you want to pin the bottom and center of the bun only. You want the top of the bun to kind of be hanging backwards off of the head, so just don't pin down the top of the braid so it matches up with how Zoey's looks in the movie. You see that little gap there, how the bun kind of sticks out? It's a small detail, but it does make a difference. And that's it. That's how you do Zoey's hairstyle from K-pop Demon Hunters, minus the micro bangs, which are very cute. I just don't have them. Some people did ask why I didn't add fake bangs. I did try. They just didn't quite look right. You can see them here, but you be the judge of that. You tell me whether it looks better with the fake bangs or without. Anyways, that is it for the K-pop Demon Hunters hairstyles. Let me know if you guys have any questions at all, and as always, happy hairstyling.